Hello, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is me, Ayub Hamidi, from the platform of projectgreenearth.org from Stockholm, Sweden. The topic of this short video is, why can't India be the world's largest exporter of coal? According to the Carbon Brief, India is the world's second largest consumer of coal after China. In 2017, India actually produced 76% of its total electricity with the help of coal. And if one would consider the timeline from 1985 to 2015, when it comes to the usage of coal, we can actually see an exponential growth in the pattern of coal usage in India, like this. So in 2019, unfortunately, India had a cumulative installed coal power operating capacity of 221 gigawatts. This represents around 11% of the global installed cumulative coal power generation ability that India has, or India had in 2019. Your government and India is planning to increase that 221 gigawatts of installed coal power generating ability to another 238 gigawatts by year 2017. So another way of saying this thing is in coming 7 years, India is planning to add another 17 gigawatts of coal power generation ability to its already installed coal power generation ability. This is not really good for India from an environmental perspective, from an economic perspective as well. And in my personal opinion, your focus when it comes to the energy independence in India should really be on renewables, and particularly on solar. The first and the foremost reason is coal is a really water intensive source of power production. Indian population is increasing quite rapidly, and as the population is increasing, India needs more water. Secondly, coal is one of the key drivers when it comes to accelerating climate change, and we all know climate change has very serious impact on countries across the globe, and particularly on India. For example, with each degree Celsius increase in temperature, US would actually lose 10% of its food production abilities. More or less would be the case for India. And I guess this would hurt India in a place where India won't really appreciate, particularly in a scenario when its population would be increasing quite rapidly. Third thing is, for example, as we all know, climate change is the key factor when it comes to sea level rise. And sea level rise, as one of the most negative impacts, would seriously hurt India as well, and all of the coastal cities in India. So generating electricity through coal makes neither economic sense for India, nor it is quite of a beneficial thing when it comes to environmental perspective or social perspective or aspect as well. So we really need to put an end to coal mining in India. As we all know, that it took nature roughly 4.5 to 6 billion years to create this marvel that we call planet Earth, our blue and green planet. And by the marvel means the right conditions that has facilitated the life to thrive on this planet. And we can't actually take this thing for granted. If we can see the accumulation of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, we can actually see an exponential growth particularly from 1950 till up to 2020. So this shows a very clear sign, this is a very clear factor that we the humans are responsible, and our unsustainable reliance on coal, oil and gas has resulted in this rapid accumulation of CO2 in our atmosphere. So we really need to put an end on our reliance on coal for the sake of power production. We all know forests are basically the nature's carbon capture and storage devices, because forests basically remove CO2 from atmosphere and put it back into the ground. Apart from that, this is just one aspect or eco-service of the forest. Forests are home to countless plants and animal species that collectively makes life possible on Earth. So we can't really take forests for granted. According to Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in India, India has a tremendous potential when it comes to generating electricity with the help of solar PV. For example, the estimated solar PV potential of India is over 700 gigawatts. And these are the facts basically that has been produced by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Resources, and I'm not making these facts up. For example, if I would like to go by state, the estimated solar PV potential of Rajasthan is 142 gigawatts, Madhya Pradesh it is 61 gigawatts, Odisha it's 25 gigawatts, Gujarat 35 gigawatts, Andhra Pradesh 38 gigawatts. If we would only take these 5 states of India, This represents an estimated potential of 301 gigawatts in India. Apart from this, you have wind. Apart from this, you have water, hydropower generation ability. Apart from this, you have waste to energy technology. All of these renewable sources of electricity can really help India to attain a future where India will produce 100% of its electricity from clean and green sources of power production. It must be appreciated that under your guidance and leadership, India had an cumulative installed solar PV capacity of 28.18 gigawatts in 2018. But I personally believe that this should just be the beginning of a future for India, where India would be able to produce 100% of its clean electricity with the help of solar PV, wind, waste, and hydro sources of power production. India can actually shun the use of fossil fuels, particularly coal. That is the most dirtiest source and water-intensive source of power production. India can actually put an end to the use of coal and can create a practical example for countries like China, countries like Poland, South Africa, USA. In USA, actually, the reliance on coal is going down. Since 2013 till now, US has actually closed half of its surface coal mine. So should be the case for India. Opening new coal mines is, I personally believe, a very wrong step at the wrong time and in the wrong direction. Solar PV, wind, hydro, and waste is the future of India, particularly in a scenario when the estimated solar PV potential of India is over 700 gigawatts. If under your leadership and guidance, India can have installed cumulative capacity of 28 gigawatts of solar PV, India can also has an installed cumulative capacity of over 300 gigawatts with the help of renewables, particularly with a back on solar. This is possible for India, and I personally believe India can make this happen. Thank you so much.